right, everybody. So we are about to have, you can see on the on your guys' right side, they're starting to get set up here for our top 4 match. Super excited for what we got going on here. I am going to give it a go. Hopefully I don't cough too much. Sorry, Asa, if I do.
Oh, that's all right. Dude, it feels like Denver all over again.
Yeah, we've done this before.
We have. Right down to you being sick next to me.
You're right.
Yep.
Did you get sick after I left?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my bad. I tried not to cough in your face. I tried really hard.
Hey, you know what? I'm expecting it. It's all right. I came out to this expecting to get con crud.
Right.
It's going to happen.
That's right. Then you can share it with everybody on the airplane.
Exactly. Everybody on the airplane, everybody at work.
That's right. So, yep, it's all my fault. It's all basically if you get sick, if you're in anywhere in the Midwest or in the mountain area, Denver area, it's my fault. Essentially, is what happens.
Exactly.
At least over the next couple weeks.
Regardless, though, Dion, I have to thank you for flying me out here. It's been an absolute pleasure, man.
No problem, man. You know, the thing is that while I made the call, we can't do it without anybody who supports us. So thank you to everybody who does that, because really. None of all of this that happened this weekend is possible without you guys. So thank you guys so much.
Exactly.
We're gonna wait until we see. I guess they're starting to get ships down, so we'll go ahead full screen. Excuse if there's any mistakes during it, because basically we're at one of the.
We took the whole thing and we shifted it slightly over, twisted Dion's monitors around so that we can both.
Right, and we got like buttons on multiple places. So
I've got the little one. He's got the big one.
All right. So one thing we actually do need to start with, looking at my monitor that's twisted on this other side, we need to do a choose your champion poll. We've got to make sure we make that pop up, because that's super important.
It is.
But we're going to go ahead and go to the table so we can watch their setup, and then we will do the official beginning of commentary like we usually do once they are set and ready to go.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and mute that mic.
Here we go.
It's about to begin.
3, 2, 1. Time starts now. Let's go. All right, everybody, welcome back to the semifinals of the Star Wars X-Wing World Championships 2019. It's hard for me to commentate right here with all this chatter going behind me.
No worries, Asa. So we're super excited here. This is the top 4, and on the left we have Alex Farley, and on the right we got Daniel Taylor. But before we go, my name is Dion Morales, your host of the Gold Squadron podcast, and we're coming to you live from the World Championships.
And I'm Asa Graff. That's absolutely right, Dion. Alex Farley there on the left-hand side, Daniel Taylor on the right. We've got Scum on Rebels, Torgulmux, Captain Seaver, and 3 Cartel Marauders from Alex. An absolutely nasty Scum little list right here.
That's right. And on the right, we have Daniel Taylor bringing some Rebel salad. We got Wedge Antilles with Crackshot, and of course those S-foils. Jake Farrell with Crackshot, being able to move around the board, provide some focus tokens to his buddies. Braylon Strom in the B-Wing, the most offensive of the B-Wings, and definitely super flexible with Crackshot. And then 2 Z95s. Yes, I did say Z95s.
That's right.
On the board. Well,
so I don't run a podcast anymore, but I do still listen to a lot. And who would have known? You'd never have seen Z95s and Jake Farrell in the semifinals of Worlds 2019.
Yep, and then we have, for the Rebels, we have Lieutenant Blount and a Bandit Squadron. And I want to take a second to talk about Lieutenant Blount's ability. So it says, while you perform an attack, if there is at least one other friendly ship at range 0 to 1 of the defender, you may roll one additional attack dice.
And that synergizes extremely well with number pink right there. We're going to see him used as a blocker against Alex Farley's list. Now, Daniel Taylor does have initiative, so any pilot skill conflicts are going to be passed to him. He is first player. With that said, there aren't any over here. We just have 2s and 3s on Alex Farley's side. Lowest pilot skill on the board. Excuse me, sorry. Lowest initiative on the board.
It's okay. No worries. No worries, man. I think by now most people understand. And actually, a quick question in the chat we can actually ask later is who here is a first edition, like original first edition player, and who here is brand new in second edition. We can do that later. But right now on your screen you have your choose your champion poll. Right now we have over 800 people watching right now this top 4 match. I want you guys to go ahead and vote in the poll. All you got to do is type 1 or 2. Type 1 if you want to choose Alex Farley as your champion, if you think he's going to win, and type 2 in the chat if you think Daniel Taylor is going to take it for the Rebellion.
And if you want to win, you can do that with Curled Paw Creatives tokens, our sponsor for this stream. You have a coupon code down there in the bottom right, Worlds 2019 will get you 15% off. Again, that's coupon code Worlds 2019, get you 15% off your whole order with no minimums. And there's a shipping promotion too, right, Dion?
Absolutely. If you're in the United States and you do an order over $35, that is free shipping. Unfortunately, it's not available for the international crowd, but at least you got that 15% off as well.
Absolutely. So
let's talk about Alex's list here. This is a list that we saw come to fruition. I believe it was at Gen Con was the first time we saw it publicly on stream and things. So basically, this is a jousting list. His job is to make sure that he stays in formation, keep all those Kiraxes there, use that Seavor ability to jam off a focus token in initial engagement, and erase something off the board.
Exactly, and that's after muxing somebody down to pilot skill 0, initiative 0.
Yep.
After muxing somebody down to initiative 0, in this case, his target, Wedge Antilles.
Now, one of the things I'm worried for Alex is the fact that Daniel does have an initiative 1 in his list. That Z95, of course, can hang out with Lieutenant Blount to provide some cover fire, but it can be used as a blocker to mess up this formation, taking away some of the modifications on those Kirax attacks. You want to have those focuses to make sure that you're averaging, 2.5-ish dice hits per roll, and that little Z95 could be trouble, and you see Daniel right there already leading towards those Kirax fighters.
Absolutely. Here come the Kiraxes, 4 straight from Orange, leading the charge. He's going to see the barrel roll down towards the bottom edge of the board. He's not ready to commit just yet. Does that Kirax have a linked action?
The Kiraxes do not have a link action. They just have the focus, target lock, and barrel roll.
So as I put to Darren the other day, the last time I flew a Kirax was when they still had the 5K.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, the Kirax, honestly, even just that barrel roll has made a big difference on them. Just having a little bit of maneuverability on them. They don't lock up. They have 1 hards, which makes them deceptively maneuverable in a knife fight. It can be a really, really good matchup. And right now, looking at the poll, looks like we're practically 50-50. Daniel has a short, small lead. And if you guys don't know, Daniel Taylor is actually a 3-time Imperial Assault World Champion.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Looking to bring his title to X-Wing as well. And I think that poll is very, very reflective of what we're seeing right now. Dion, you and I were talking a little bit earlier here before we started streaming about how balanced we feel like this metagame is right now. The list representation, the faction representation is extremely diverse. And even though some archetypes are certainly strong, Seer Swarms, Jedi, to name a couple, actually there's none of those right here in the top.
No. And that's interesting. One of the biggest things you heard people going up to the World Championships complaining about is the fact that regen, talking about regen as a negative play experience and how that messes with the points. But right now we are in a meta right now that's forming right now after we're looking at the World Championships where, yes, is regen good? Absolutely. Marcel Manzano, one of my very own, goes undefeated up until the top 16, I believe it was, with a regen list. But we don't see it here in the top 4.
Right.
Is it good? Yes. But there are some answers out there, and we know that Daniel, Alex, Ollie and Mitch in this top 4 have had some answers for that because they've had to play against it.
Right, and we see no regen here. Wedge Antilles could easily take that, but instead he just takes Crackshot. Crackshot's been giving us actually an extremely good showing in this tournament. So many critical hits going through, that damage really clinching it. We also see a lot of games going to time, a lot of games decided by 1 to 3 points. We had 2 games on stream, one round in the same round, decided by that 1-point margin.
Well, one of the things here is, which is really interesting, I think the popularity of Crackshot, of course, it's a good value being able to take away and evade, but at the same time, it also shows the community's now better understanding of the bullseye arc, right?
Absolutely.
We are more consistently seeing players understand how to get that in arc. Well, how do you need to maneuver your ship to do it, and approach in order to be able to utilize effects that have the bullseye.
So let's talk about approaches right here. Alex Farley's line of Cartel Marauders has now split up, and we've seen a nice little block right down here in the bottom. Beautiful reorientation.
Now, something else about these this Rebel list that Daniel has brought, having 4 different ship types gives Daniel access to a lot of different tech. Right in the list. I want to talk about Jake Farrell really quickly. Maybe some people don't understand how he moves around the table. So Jake Farrell's ability says, after you perform a barrel roll or boost action, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 1. That ship may perform a focus action. So I want you to understand that not only can he give himself focus, he can actually give that focus token to other ships. And if you pair that with his Vector Thrusters ability, you actually can do, which is after you perform an action, you may perform a red boost. You could do something along the lines of focus, perform a boost, hand off a focus to a friend. So you end up netting overall for your list multiple focus tokens. If that other ship took a target lock, you got fully modified shots going into an engagement.
Absolutely. And speaking of going into engagement, we might be looking at an engagement here very soon. Here comes Number Pink leading the charge, coming in with a 1-bank conservative maneuver, but faces his arc down here towards the bottom side of the board and bottom center of the board, where Alex is moving his Kirax fighters.
All right, so we're going to see where Alex is moving. Curious to see if he's going to continue up the board or start making the turn in. There it is, the 2-turn, starting to set up this this engagement.
Are we going for the honorable joust here?
I mean, both of these lists are kind of joust. Like, Alex's list is more like on the continuum of joust. Right. Alex is farther along it.
Exactly.
But Daniel's list is pretty jousty as well. You can kind of be AC with Jake and Wedge, but essentially he wants to engage at multiple angles with those 5 ships.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to point out about Alex and Daniel, both System Open champions. Alex won a System Open during 1st edition, Daniel during 2nd edition. But one thing I do find interesting, just looking at some of the names in the top cut and how they performed, is seeing those players who have made a strong transition of going from 1st edition to 2nd edition. Alex Farley being one of those that showed, like, hey, you know, he won a System Open with Nim Miranda, right? That was a list that in 1st edition people just thought, like, oh, requires 0 skill. I will say that it was definitely very oppressive, but Alex showing, listen, I know that I may have won with a squad that may have been seen a little bit easier to win with.
But watch me go now. Look at this. Look at this little scum swarm there.
That's right. It's a powerful list for sure. but he had to play all these rounds. He's here, right?
Right. 2-turn in for the B-Wing. Looking to take that focus. Can he link it to the barrel roll?
So talk about those shenanigans that Daniel's doing. He has available with accidentally, quote unquote, failing the barrel roll.
He look at that. He just failed the barrel roll, but since the focus is the first action in that link chain, he's actually going to be able to take the focus. He still gains the stress, but Braylon thrives on stress.
Right.
Braylon Strom's ability allows him to re-roll up to 2 of his dice while he defends or performs an attack if he is stressed. So he takes that stress. I wouldn't be surprised to see him banking 1 in around this rock, taking that focus, failing in big ol' air quotes that barrel roll against that rock one more time. Here comes Jake Farrell in. Might we see him boost, hand that off to Wedge, give him a target lock focus coming into that engagement?
Probably. So looking at our poll one more time, seems like people are still split. We're going to keep that open until they get into the engagement phase. Go ahead and get your answers in the poll. Type 1 or 2. It's really easy. We got over 900 people watching. I think we can get our poll to at least 300 votes. Let's go ahead and get them now.
And one more time, this round is sponsored by Curled Paw Creatives. Use coupon code WORLDS2019 for 15% off your order. Free shipping over $35 to the continental U.S. Ensures you'll get those tokens quickly and efficiently. Again, coupon code WORLDS2019 will give you 15% off. Here we go. There's the focus boost coming in for Jake Farrell. Jake Farrell just using his ability on himself, not passing that off to Wedge.
Yeah, that allows him to focus and boost in the same turn.
And there we go. He actually is going to pass it off to Wedge.
So one option that Jake does have, if he wants to not be stressed, even though the A-Wings dial is fantastic, you can almost always clear that stress. He doesn't have to necessarily do that. He can boost and focus in the same turn.
Right, what he just did, he focused, linked that to a boost. Because he performed the boost, Wedge can take the focus. Now we might see Wedge open his S-foils, come down here, take a target lock on number pink, leading Kirax. There it is.
It's an interesting engagement. I wonder if Daniel's trying to just barely get pink in arc, in range, and keep the other ones out so he can try to get some damage early without having to lose a ship, possibly.
And I think that's exactly what he's done. I think we have cut off this back rank. Seaver's bullseye out. Torkel Mux looks like we don't have range, but he's checking for the target lock to make sure. Looks like he might have range to the back rank. If he does, I think we might see a barrel roll backwards.
Yep. All right. So that is in range. That means Mux, Seavor, and maybe the only one that's out might be purple.
Right.
So we could see.
Out of Torkel is the call from the judge. Excuse me, the call from Alex Farley. Both players agreeing with that.
So right here, using a target lock to not only, of course, get a target lock, but getting some information.
Right.
The action allows you to measure to every applicable ship. Very different from first edition. Some players remembering that you can. Basically, you had to choose a target. Go ahead.
So we just checked this beginning of engagement. We just checked to see if Torkel Mux has range to Wedge. No range to Wedge, of course. So Torkel Mux is out. No muxing. Wedge Antilles coming in range 3 against number orange.
So it's 3 hits. And that's going to mean 2 going in there into orange. It's going to be 1 shield and a hull.
Great opening shot from Wedge Antilles right there. That's exactly what Daniel wants to see. Get ahead in this damage there.
That's right. Torkel, we'll see how much Torkel Mux being out of range ends up hurting Alex. That's why I said earlier during the activation if he might do a 2 forward.
Braylon Strom coming in right now. He's taking the 3-die attack. Same target. 3 hit, focus, crit. Spending that focus. Doesn't need to use that stress reroll. Evades. Crit on the hull.
All right, let's find out what that is.
Direct hit.
All right, that means it's going to be half points on that Cartel Marauder. 19 points scored by Daniel.
Early lead he pulls out here, but that's not insurmountable for Alex.
This should be, I believe, Lieutenant Blount.
Unmodified shot. He did bump. Jake Farrell now coming right in.
So they're checking right now to see whether or not Jake has the arc.
That is extraordinarily close.
I would call the judge. I would call the judge on that one.
There it is. There's the call for the judge.
So that is Judge. I think that is Zach. No, that's not Zach Matthews. Beautiful judge person, whichever one it is.
So he is holding them down. He's going to ask the other judge to measure teamwork right there.
We had a little bit of an issue there. Let me go ahead and try to solve this. Sorry about that, everybody. Looks like capture cards are doing something real funny, so give me some patience. I'd appreciate that. There we go.
There we go. So he's firing into pink. No arc on orange. Easily evaded. Jake Farrell doing no damage right there, electing not to spend his focus. Captain Seaver now with a shot. He's got that range 3 into Wedge. Is that obstructed, though? Calling that obstructed.
All right, jam. Wedge has no focus anymore. That's Alex's turn to return fire. There's Seavor for 2 hits. And taking one right there on wedge, one shield down. All right, so Torkel's measuring first, seeing if he has anybody in range.
It looks like he's got range, but maybe not arc. So he has it in the turret arc, so range 3 out the right-hand side. 2 dice coming in. Torkel rolls focus blank, spending one of those Moldy Crow focus, and nothing.
Daniel has a focus available if he wants to.
Does he spend it on that one hit when Pink hasn't fired yet?
Yeah, and one thing for Alex, at the start of activation, he didn't measure early, so he could have had that that Z95 at initiative 0.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters, but he could.
He's taking the 1.
Just checking all of his options. He's got range 3 to wedge, Jake, and Braylon. I'm kind of surprised he didn't measure with purple first, but I guess he knows that that's out of range of wedge anyway. Here we go. Two crits.
One more shield coming off of Wedge Antilles, now shieldless. 2 more Kirax to fire.
All right, here's purple next. That is very close. Obviously, we have remember we have an angle here, so even though that looked like it was hanging over wedge,
right,
because of the angle, it might not be. It wasn't actually flat on the table. They're going to go ahead and mark Pink out of the way to make sure that they get it right. Players doing what they got to do to make sure they have range. Here we go. And that
just barely out. Daniel has skirted this back rank almost completely. Just Seaver with the unfortunate barely in shot right there.
Yeah, guys, I see the that flickering. I'm trying R2, see if you can lock it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's purple, then range 3 into Z95 Pink. There is just one hit after focus. 3
natties,
evades.
baby. Let's see some natties in the chat.
Z95, of course, rolling natties.
I mean, that's what they do.
Range 2 from orange at the Z, elect not to take the shot on wedge. And there it is, 2 hits and a crit, 2
baby.
evade dice, only 1 hit and a crit.
And that is going into the hole? Loose save. So that means that Z95 must go straight. I mean, it was probably going straight anyways, but definitely locks down some of the maneuverability and also forces Daniel to do that straight maneuver.
Here comes Z95, range 2, back into orange, try to put that guy down, hitting a crit. Natties, this could do it. Blanks will kill the Cartel Marauder, and there it is, focus blank. Cartel Marauder goes down with a hit and a crit coming into it. There it is, damaged engine, but the Cartel Marauder comes off. We see Daniel Taylor picking up an early lead, 38 points to 12. Will that be a critical lead, though? We will see. 55 minutes left in the round as they go back to dials. No sticker for me here today, though, Dion.
All right, guys, we are opening up a new poll there on the screen. When did you start playing? Type 1 for first edition and 2 for second edition. Obviously, both Asa and I are 1s.
Right, which is why I still say pilot skill.
Right. We're just really curious to know. Obviously, the player base, the majority of the player base most likely started in first edition.
Right.
But it's always cool to see who started in second edition.
Right. Okay, so now Daniel Taylor, I think, got the better of that first engagement just by a little bit. He came in, he was able to cut off this back rank of this back rank of Kirax fighters right there, back rank of Scum fighters. With that, able to take out one of the Kirax fighters without losing any of his in return. Do you think he has scored a decisive victory, or is he now in a positional disadvantage?
So, right now, Daniel Taylor, like the Z90, that Z95 just doesn't super matter. Like it's there to
4 straight barrel roll.
Exactly. The loose stabilizer, while it limits your maneuverability on your maneuver, now that the Z95s have the barrel roll, like, hey, listen, I'll stress my Z95, I'll let it die, but it's going to give you a problem. And Alex knows that loose stabilizer essentially doesn't mean anything for him. Now, if Daniel didn't have the loose stabilizer, maybe he would have done something like a 3 bank. barrel roll.
It's entirely possible.
But, I mean, the 4 straight barrel roll works just as well. Guys, all right, you're going to hear me go silent here for a minute. I'm going to try to I'm going to refresh a couple things in the background. Asa, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dion. 54 minutes left in this game. Now, do we see Alex Farley trying to go ahead and catch Wedge? I think he's the next big target. Shieldless. Wedge has to disengage. If I were a betting man, I'd say he's going to disengage out the right-hand side there.
Are we back? Are we back? We got it. All right. Coming back to the table.
Going perfect until the very end.
So we're recording that video again, so we'll be able to splice it together on YouTube later at least. Here comes Jake Farrell turning in pilot right around the asteroid.
Guys, what I'm going to do, this is all right, Asa, go ahead and commentate. I'm going to be doing some things in the background. Yeah, that's why we were having issues beforehand. I was like, what's going on? And the computer crashes.
Of course.
All right, so go ahead. Solve these issues, guys. Thank you so much for
hard turn there from Wedge Antilles. There we go. We're taking the turn out of the fight. Wedge does have to disengage. He's closed S foils. Beginning of engagement. Now we get to Torkel mucks somebody. Blount is muxed. Alex Farley going for the initiative kill on Lieutenant Blount right there. All right. Range 1 coming in from Purple. Here we have hit, crit, focus for 3 hits and a crit. This could be Lieutenant Blount down right away. But nothing, a one-shot Blount. Damage sensor array coming in onto Blount.
All right, I need everybody out there to knock on some wood. Everything is working. I'm not going to touch anything.
So there's only one. I feel like Blount should be down right there. Something. Spreading the focus. He's checking for Braylon's crack shot. Or onto Blount's crack shot. Well, that's Jake's crack shot. He's coming in on Purple right there. So he's marked to check that crack shot. So Judge coming in to make that crack shot arc call. Can somebody in chat remind me what was that crit into Cartel Marauder Purple?
Do you want me to go look?
Yeah, Justin, if you can.
Oh, okay. So you had 2 shields up. So that was the first point? Yeah. Oh, I get a point. Oh! You made it. Do better. You made it. Oh, I should get a green dot.
Damage sensor array is on Purple.
Damage sensor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for the patience right here. We really appreciate that.
All right, everybody.
So the bullseye arc was called out. So Alex dodged the attack completely with Purple.
We have the contingency plan set up just in case something else happens. Should be good. All right, so sorry to the 920 of you guys who are here.
Thank you for sticking around through the technical difficulties.
Yeah, well, I think most of our viewers understand that technology doesn't always do what it's supposed to, right? Especially when we have so many things going on here.
Right.
Honestly, I just think our system's starting to get a little tired.
I know.
These computers
tired,
have been hot.
Stepped on by 1,000 people behind us.
Yep.
Yeah, I think somebody in chat said it right there. Last round for the weekend, and now the system breaks.
Yep. Come on, baby. You can do it. Let's get some gumboats for our system here. All right. Turn on that.
Firing 2 hits, 2
and
evades.
2 evades. There we go. Waiting for that next attack. There's the pink Kirax firing range 1 into Blount. Has 4 dice.
Focusing for 3 hits, evades, 2 evades.
Alex playing the aggressive game. He's willing to spend those. Next Cartel in the Blount.
Oh,
ooh,
that's a
4
big hit.
hits. That could do it if he has 1 blank in here. And Blount removed from the table. Alex scoring 43 points. Still a little bit behind, but starting to close that gap.
Right now, Blount was Mux, so he's coming off the board right away. Torkel Mux now coming in, probably against that Bandit Pink. There he is, range 2 out the side arc. Only 1 hit, that could do it. Pink still has a focus, though. He's got to spend it. Doesn't die.
All right, Daniel's turn to start responding. Here's the Bandit, range 2 into Torkel Mux.
Just one focus, spend that. No damage.
CZ Jax 3, cheers for the GSPN system. Thank you so much.
GSPN system needs you. Thank you for the gunboats, folks.
That's right. Thank you, thank you.
And thank you for checking out our sponsor for this stream, Curled Pot Creatives. Use coupon code WORLDS2019 to get 15% off your whole order with no minimums. Thank you to Curled Pot Creatives. Andrew Knuckles has left already. He's got an early flight
That's
tomorrow,
right.
so he's heading back home.
You know, I might need to hit up Andrew for more sponsor money so that we can add a water cooling solution for all of the things here.
A redundant. Well, we just need 2 systems going at once, right?
Right. The whole system, just like double all the equipment. We could do 6 tables, but instead it's at 3 tables plus 3 tables worth of backup equipment.
So 42 minutes left in this round. Daniel Taylor still up 57 points to 43, but that's not a decisive lead. And Alex Farley has forced Wedge out of position. Dion, what's going to happen next?
So looking at the position on the board, one of the things we're looking at is the fact that the Z95 still has a loose stabilizer. Which means that he's still forced to go straight, otherwise he's off the board, essentially making that pilot irrelevant. It's important to remember the fact that Z95 cannot K-turn. That is not considered a straight maneuver, even though you do use a straight template. It's a turnaround maneuver. Right now, those Kirax fighters are kind of in a prime spot to actually do some turnaround maneuvers themselves. Looking at pink and purple, looks like both of them should be able to flip around. That's those in the center of your screen, those two Kirax fighters.
This guy and that guy right there.
That's right. Now, the Torkoal Mux is really going to have to leverage his ability this turn for the fact that the Cartel Marauder, the purple one, only has 2 hull. He needs to make sure to Initiative 0, whatever's the biggest threat to that purple Marauder. That way he can deal some damage before being removed from the table. Most likely, Alex will be losing that purple Marauder this turn.
Right, and I think that's what Daniel needs to ensure happens to stay back into this game. Now Wedge has a free corner of this board to maraud around it. And speaking of marauders, Wedge is one now. As he moves towards the bottom of the board, I think we could see a 2-turn with a boost in or just a Talon roll. Face himself back towards the center of the fight, take some less than optimal shots, but still some shots down in the center of the board while Mux's arc is faced up towards the top. Then Wedge can come back in from behind, re-engage. If you're Daniel, do you have a singular target right now, or is it just getting those Marauders down?
Right now, I mean, the Marauders are the ones that do the heavy lifting in this squad. Now, the thing is that Torkoal Mux in the end game versus something like a Wedge, honestly, could take him on. He has a 3-dice gun himself in the front, and Torkoal gets to shoot every time before Wedge. We also got to remember the fact that the Hawk also has a boost.
Right.
You can't.
It's incredible.
That's right. It's really good. And combined with the Moldy Crow title, you can, bank up those focus tokens and get a little bit more maneuverability on that Hawk to make sure you're swinging that front arc around.
Right. One straightened barrel roll from Z95 Pink. Really just not caring about that loose stabilizer right now. Wants to try to throw a block onto Torkoal Mux for that one bank. Cartel Marauders doing the 4Ks, one after the other, facing back in towards the center of the board, looking to catch Jake and Braylon out next round.
Yeah, actually looking at the fact that they're a little farther out than I thought they were visually, Purple might actually be okay. I'll be curious to see if he can, they can either clip Braylon here. Ooh.
There's a 2-turn.
Alex not seeing the barrel roll there, but it's okay. Torkoal does have a focus token still, so a modifier there. Most likely be able to get some shots onto Braylon.
Absolutely. Now what that does, Torkoal is trying to put his 180-degree Torkoal arc facing down towards this side of the board because he knows that Wedge is going to be coming in from this angle. He wants to threaten him. He wants to make sure that Wedge has to still run scared and can't leverage his massive gun to take out those Marauders and Seaver one by one.
Wedge probably doing a Talon roll this turn to the left, that bottom of your board. So he'll be able to get some shots on to Torkoal most likely, but we'll see what Daniel dialed in there. Not the 4K, that's going to be off the board.
Right, hard turn and a focus from Captain Seaver. Braylon Strom.
He's in for some hurt. He might be inside the kill box, especially if Daniel did a hard turn to the right.
Yep. So here's a critical hit marker coming down. There's just a 1 bank from Braylon Strom.
All right, there's the 1 bank. So Braylon has the option to barrel roll to the bottom of the board, get at range 3 from purple, maybe even out of range from pink. I actually think that's going to be still in range. But right now, another choice if, Seavor doesn't really do much for against Braylon.
Well, he can still jam off that focus if Torkoal Mux, if Mux muxes him down to pilot, initiative 0, down to 0, he can fire, blast off that focus token. And
there you go. They moved that stress token. I was going to call it. I was going to wait and give him a second. Good. They got it. They got it. All right, so
the focus.
Daniel reluctantly barrel rolling away, knowing that that he would
go away.
Yeah.
He knows how it works. Here comes Jake Farrell. Jake Farrell taking a 3 bank down there towards the bottom of the board. He's going to clear.
He might. Oh, that's really close. I would hold.
He fits right in. Oh, that's
loop and
That's Segnor's loop. Beautiful, Jake. Holy cow.
All right, so no actions for Jake. Jake
shots.
Jake basically saying right now, who do you want? Jake is worth 37 points. Braylon's worth 52.
Wedge focusing and boosting after a 2 hard turn.
All right, so actually, yeah, that's even better than the Talon roll. Being able to bring that arc around might be able to clip Torkoal here with a focus.
This Z95 now a real thorn in Alex Farley's side, blocking up that 2 hard turns, sticking here to block the next 2 hard turns. He tries to move his arc around. Beginning of engagement, seeing who Alex wants to mux.
Yeah,
let's listen to the table.
That red barrel roll really hurt.
Really, absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
Second edition, looking into Alex's face and saying, "I've come after you."
So we have muxed Braylon Strom right there. Range 2 for Wedge coming into Torkoal Mux. There's only 2. Spend the focus.
1 hit. And
spending the focus. Last focus stripped off a Moldy Crow. Wedge now with a very ineffective shot, but stripping the focus off.
That's right. Braylon's going to get a good shot with rerolls and a focus, so that's going to hurt unless... Actually, no. Seavor might be able to strip that off. So here,
Range 2 from purple into Jake Farrell. Comes in, hitting a crit. 2 focuses. Jake taking 2 shields.
That means that purple's going to be off the board before he can fire.
What a beautiful shot from Jake Farrell. Holy cow.
That Talon roll fitting was amazing. Or the sloop, excuse me.
Signor's loop.
The S loop.
That might be huge in Daniel's favor right here. Taking a gun off the board before we can see Seaver, before we can see Mux firing. Only 1 Cartel Marauder, and none of Daniel's ships have left the board.
That's right. So here we go. Alex is shooting Braylon to remove the focus. Removes it because Braylon does not have Seavor in his bullseye arc. That's how Seavor ability works. And focus for 1 hit.
Now he gets a reroll. He is stressed.
Not today.
Rerolls don't matter, apparently.
Yeah. So Braylon down to 3 shields, and Alex has some decisions to make whether he wants to focus fire something.
Right.
He might just be getting rid of this. He's going to the Z95. This thing has been a problem. We talked about it. Like that might be something that really swings this game. This Initiative 1, the fact that it can get in the way over and over again.
Because that Z95, this base is slightly off angle. Next round, he can go 1 forward. He's not going to clear. He's going to bump again. Torkoal really wants to move that arc around to catch Wedge in this zone.
Yep.
But if the Z95 is right there, he absolutely cannot do that. So he's got to kill that little blocker. Number Pink.
Yeah, Number Pink's doing the work. It was written long ago in Denver, and we're here again. We're here again. So right now, Alex behind 43-76. Daniel Taylor, 3-time Imperial Salt champion, leading right now.
2 hits coming into Jake Farrell down to range 3. Jake rolling plenty of evades.
Let's get some natties in the chat.
Range 1 out Torkoal's side arc into Jake.
Going to be 3 dice here.
Just 1 hit. Jake should be fine with that.
Nope.
No evades, but
of course.
Just takes a shield. Now it's Braylon Strom's turn. We're going to be firing into Torkoal.
All right. 33 minutes left on the clock. Alex only getting 1 shield there on Jake. The value there isn't great. Losing that Cartel Marauder without being able to take another ship off the board could be the nail in Alex's coffin, to be completely honest. Because this whole squad is built on the fact that it has such high jousting efficiency.
Are they going back to dials?
Yeah.
Braylon forgot to shoot.
Okay.
Braylon Strom didn't fire a shot this round.
At Initiative 0, you are correct.
That is a missed opportunity from Daniel.
Yep.
Now
there are judges. There's literally
3 judges. Over there
there are judges at the table. It's one of those where they've declared that
they didn't say anything.
Yeah,
that's a missed opportunity.
That's right.
Braylon Strom did engage, but with that said, I think Daniel Taylor's still coming out slightly ahead in that matchup, even without the gun of Braylon Strom. We'll see if the extra damage that he could have put on Torkoal that round is actually going to help. But he didn't lose Z95 Pink. He was still able to plink the Cartel Marauder Purple before he was able to fire.
Right.
I think right now we see a bank in from Torkoal Mux, so he can still face that arc down. With that said, let's talk the results of our poll, shall we, Dion? We've got our poll finished up. Most of you responding started in first edition. 78 or 79% Started first edition, 22 in second. We have 230 responses there as we go here. Dion stepped away for just one moment. I think he's going to inform the judges about that missed opportunity. Braylon Staram failing to engage at range 0. Welcome back, Dion.
Hey, I went and I did my civil duty.
Yep.
I told the judge, and it is their call to go from there.
Yes.
Completely out of my hands.
31 minutes left in the round. 79% of people started in first edition here.
Wow. And Alex, stand-up guy, is like, oh yeah, nothing's changed. Just go ahead and attack. Super solid.
Holy cow. And there's 3 hits, 2 evades though from Torkel Mux, taking the shield down.
You know, I'll tell you, Alex rewarded for his. He was like, oh yeah, of course. Just go ahead and roll the dice. Like super
Look at
casual.
that sportsmanship there. Both of these players, we can hear the table chat going on. Both of these players are talking, jawing with each other. They're playing very well, but it's not a tense. It's not it's not an antagonistic environment. And that's what I really like to see. One of the reasons why I like X-Wing so much is because we've got that non-antagonistic environment, everybody liking who they're paired with, liking this engagement.
Yep. Absolutely. There's that 30-minute call from FFG. They're talking to a whole 4 people.
So we're
they needed a big mic for that one.
So interesting that Z95 blasting out there 3 straight, probably going to repair that loose stabilizer. There it is.
Absolutely. It will be extremely interesting.
Hilarious.
If that Z95 comes back.
I'm going to call it right now. We're going to see a K-turn. We're going to see a K-turn. He's going to flick the last damage on Seaver, isn't he?
Yeah, I could see that. You know, number pink coming back. And
Once again, for the first time, I think, since Paul Heaver's first championship, Z95 is going to win Worlds.
Oh, that's hot take from Mesa Graph. Hot take. There it is. So let's go ahead and clear the loose stable. Oh, you did it already. Great. Cleared off the display.
Now, was that a focus link boost from Torkel Mux right there? That absolutely was.
Yeah, Torkel needs...
no, not a focus link boost, just a rotate link boost. Excuse me.
Taking advantage of those new linked actions. I mean, are they new anymore? We're pretty far into second edition.
Right.
This is our first world.
It still feels new.
It does. You know what, Asa? Let's make sure to talk about the faction breakdowns in the next planning phase, because we have some really interesting information that maybe not everybody saw.
So number pink coming down. I think we might have actually accidentally been muted when we talked about that last time too. Number pink coming down.
I think that's when the computer died.
Right. Barrel rolling in from in front of the rack. Captain Seaver. One turning around the rock there too. Jake Farrell now reversing the bank maneuver he just did. Is that going to block into the Cartel Marauder? Yes, it is. Great rear arc rotate from Torkel Mux there is going to catch Jake Farrell right inside that block.
All right, Jake without actions means that he can't give other people actions, so that always helps.
But here comes Braylon Strom. We're going to see him. If I had to guess, he's going to focus. If we see the failed barrel roll to the left, he'll pick up that stress. Range 1, target lock focus shot on the Torkel Mux.
That's right. Now, he's probably going to get initiative 0.
No, actually, that was a white. He's still just going to retain the stress.
Okay, so he still has rerolls, though.
Exactly.
So most likely we'll still see Torkel turn him into initiative 0, so that number pink on Alex's side, that Cartel Marauder, can pop him at range 1 before he gets shot back.
So Daniel Taylor opening those S-foils right there. Wedge Antilles banking in 2 to pilot left, picking up that 1 template for a barrel roll. Here comes the barrel roll to pilot right. Great move from Wedge Antilles. He's right in the side arc of Torkel. No focus, but he's going to have a great shot outside of Seaver's arc.
You know, this is a good opportunity to talk about, you already mentioned the new cardboard that Daniel's using. We actually have several sets of those to give away as patron-exclusive giveaways at the end of this round.
So stay tuned, everybody. Here comes Wedge Antilles' shot, range 2 to Torkel. Or do we take the shot at the Cartel Marauder? I think we take out Torkel right now.
Yeah, I mean, Torkel is really the linchpin of this list. It is the what do we call it? Like the anvil and the hammer, right?
Right.
So the Marauders are the hammer, and Torkoal is really the enabler. So if you get rid of that, that's your biggest tech against Wedge, being able to drop him down to initiative 0 in an endgame situation. And there is Daniel making that call. Range 1.
Range 2.
Excuse me,
Just
range
one
2.
hit, though.
1 dice only because of Wedge.
Still goes through your Wasp shield off of Torkoal Mux.
We'll probably see Braylon go into the Hawk as well.
Seaver's a number pink there, just range 1.
All right, range 1, trying to finish it here. Put the nail in the coffin. Here we go. 2 hits.
Come on, Z95. There's just one. There it goes. Number pink can't make that showing.
F's in the chat for this bandit. Never forget.
Never forget bandit number pink. Here comes range 1 into Braylon for the Cartel Marauder. Torkoal Mux did Mux Braylon Strom. There's the range 1.
4
no
focuses.
focus.
A kingdom for a focus.
And then Torkoal range 1 to Jake, trying to take advantage of the block. Just 3 dice. That range 1 turret. Just 1 focus there, not spending it.
Alex says, nope. Very, very strong reaction there.
Does he have the range 1 on Torkoal, though?
Oh, he wants it.
He is out, so he's going to take the range 1 on the Cartel Marauder. Still a very, very solid shot.
Heard the disappointment in Daniel's voice. He's out.
He wants that arc.
All right, that's a good shot. 2 re-rolls. Average is 3, and usually there it is. Gets 2, takes 1.
And crack shot from Braylon. He's going to take both of those.
At the beginning of this game, we talked about the fact that Crackshot has been doing some work here at Worlds 2019. And that is the end of the turn. So this is a good opportunity, Asa. Let's talk about the faction breakdowns that we were talking about. But previously at Worlds, not super diverse meta. People were... basically flock. We talked about 20. Go ahead. You had all the numbers. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's something from courtesy of Svelok. Comes to us posted on the X-Wing subreddit by Funwalk, but the numbers come from Svelok. We have 98 top players. That's 98 out of 422 players played. Rebels made up 25% of that. Empire made up 18%. Scum 21%. Resistance, 22%. First Order, 20%. Republic, 23%. Separatists, the highest of all, at just about 35%. So we have all factions. Separatists a little high. Empire feeling a little bit low there. But all in all, right around that 20% faction representation. And if you look around the room, too, as people are playing, there are some archetypes that are powerful. Beef, whether it's Rebel or Republic. We have Aces, whether or not those are Nantex. We've got Imperial Aces. We have Alpha Strikes in the form of Imperial Ordnance. We've got crazy jank scum lists like this one right over here. But even within those archetypes, there's not one list that dominates. There's regen Jedi, but is it Obi-Wan and Anakin? Is it Obi-Wan and Mace? Is it Rick O'Lee? Is it baby Anakin in that 3rd slot? Do we even have regen Jedi in multiple configurations, whether it's Delta 7B, whether it's calibrated laser targeting? There's a lot of good archetypes, but within those, everything's very diverse. And if you take a look there, too, somebody posted in that thread comparisons to, say, 2017. The last major Worlds, of first edition. Holy cow, we have... Let me see if I can pull that up. 11 of the top 16 lists were scum. I'm going to read this comment verbatim from Taxonomy 2016. 9 of those top 16 lists were built around Fenrau, Old Terok, Asajj Ventress, and Manaroo. It wasn't that it was just all scum, it was all variations of the exact same list. So I think that this is a very diverse world. I'm happy to be a part of it. And here we go, 22 minutes left in the round.
Did 2nd edition do exactly what it was meant to do, you think?
So far.
Yeah, I love it.
People are always going to find things to complain about. Of course. But I'm loving this. We have 3 factions in the top. And there's the 1 bank, Clear the Stress from Torkoal Mux. 4K from the Cartel Marauder jumping in right behind Braylon Strom. That's also a strong blocking maneuver for Wedge Antilles right there.
That's right. If you can take away Wedge's actions and hope for just blanks and focuses on the attack, that gives you time to try to claw back in this game. And here's the thing. Score-wise, Alex isn't far behind, 54-76. You end up getting half of a Wedge or even taking Jake out, you're right back in the game.
Wedge is just 1 point away from half damage there. Jake, 1 point away from half damage. Anything gets Alex Farley back in this game. That's the other thing thing that I'm loving about all these games. I don't think I have casted a game in the past, what's that, 3-4 days now?
Yep.
Where it hasn't come down to the last couple rounds. Where we have,
20-something games. Oh, my God, we've casted so many games.
Yeah, where it hasn't come down to the last couple rounds, where there hasn't been win conditions right up until the last dice are rolled. Here's a 3K from Captain Seaver coming back in the fight. Just has to get his gun on target. That's all he needs to do to remain relevant.
Yep. All right, so Braylon's moving. See you, Will.
Tomorrow. You going back tomorrow? See you tomorrow.
So marking Jake Farrell there. Another 2-turn from Braylon Strom. He's hungry for Torkel.
Oh, yeah. There's
Still
a 2-turn.
stressed. Braylon doesn't. Here's the thing. Braylon doesn't care.
Nope. I got modifiers. I can do whatever. As long as I'm not doing a red maneuver, I'm fine.
And he's maintaining that range 1 ban that's going to be so brutal.
And as long as Torkel Mux is running away, he's only using the 2-dice gun.
Right.
And most of the time, right now, Torkel does have the advantage of having 2 focuses. But, I mean, range 1 with a reroll, you're netting on average 3 hits right there. Torkel does not like that, especially with only having 3 hull left. You get a blank out, Torkel's gone.
1 hard turn from Jake Farrell, though. He's coming for a play into Seaver. Seaver's the next target for for Daniel. He can really mess up his plans to go for Torkel. There's a barrel roll. Jake now, I assume, I would love to see. There's a focus.
Yep.
To himself with that action. He's going to focus that. He's going to boost straight forward. Give a focus to Wedge. Here's that action economy.
Yep, so even if Wedge does end up blocked, he still has an action due to Jake. But there's a good chance that Wedge might just be hopping over here. 3 straight. That's going to be a target lock on Torkel. And essentially, Torkel gets to choose who's going to take him out.
Right.
2 shots coming in here. A range 2 from Wedge and a range 1 from Braylon. I don't think Torkel survives the turn.
Right, now we can't count out number pink right there. Cartel Marauder, 4 hulls still remaining. Relatively undamaged, and a beautiful looking range 1 shot there on Wedge, unless we see a barrel roll to the right.
That's right. I mean, at this point, Wedge does have shields down, so a crit could be really bad. So it depends on how risk-averse Daniel is. Honestly, he doesn't need to be that risky, but of course, barrel rolling in front of the debris causes him to be a little bit limited in his maneuverability. Nope. But right now, he said, homie, don't care.
Right, he still has the 1 bank maneuver available to pilot right. Now, with that said, he could just go right over it for the chase if he doesn't get the kill this round. But we have seen 2 games already in this day decided by running over debris.
Yep. All right, so Wedge has been made initiative 0.
Unsurprising there. He needs to get Seaver firing in here to jam that off first.
Yep.
There's dice. Stress reroll from Braylon Strom. 2 hits.
And there's 4 hits. This could be it for Torkel.
Holy cow,
that's
there it is.
Off the board. Torkel Mux going down. 131 points scored by Daniel Taylor right here.
That's a big swing.
That's it. I mean, Seavor and a single Cartel Marauder. I don't know if Alex can pull this out.
Jake Farrell firing at Captain Seaver with crack shot still active. Here comes the range 1 shot.
That's right. Here we go.
And nothing. Does he spend the focus token there? I'm not sure he does.
I don't think you do. There's no reason to be over-aggressive here.
And now
You're already winning.
Dead. Seaver's only shot right here is going to be Jake.
Exactly. Torkel doesn't, Seavor doesn't have any modifiers here. I think it's about being defensive at this point.
Maybe if that was a crit, and you wanted to pop that through with crack shot. But I think at this point, he wants to save that defensive because, I mean, Alex is still only down by 78. There is the chance for him to bring a couple half points, a lucky kill, and bring this back up. There's Captain Seaver then firing range 3 into Wedge. Jam that focus off. Nothing. Now, what's he using this token for right now?
That is initiative 0.
Initiative 0, gotcha.
Yep. That's a Curl Paw Creative's Fuse token, just using it in a creative way, because it kind of looks like a 0 as well.
Exactly. And if you wanted to get a non-zero percentage off of your order from Curled Paw Creatives, use code WORLDS2019. Speaking of 0 damage coming in there on Braylon Strom. That evading little B-Wing right there.
That's right. But especially with the reroll, he would have had a second chance to do it as well. Right now, honestly, Daniel Taylor is in the driver's seat.
Right. This is honestly one of the most decisive leads that I've seen come out of this evening, Dion.
Yep.
Daniel Taylor from a position of non-dominance.
Yep.
Earlier, he's able to pop a couple key ships, get some lucky dice rolls, put himself into a commanding lead with some great repositioning around this rock from Wedge Antilles coming back in the hammer of Braylon Strom, takes down Torkel Mux.
You know, the early decision of Alex to turn in here and not take another turn and go with 2 straight down here is really what affected this game. If he had taken one more turn to just move the entire formation up the board and then turn in, I think this is a completely different story.
If Alex gets all of his ships on target that first round, we had that back rank, Torkel Mux and that Cartel Marauder out of range of Wedge, unable to put decisive damage in.
Yep. So right now, Alex trying to figure out how to what is Alex's win condition right now. Essentially, he needs to start taking ships off the board.
Worth mentioning, this should be stressed right there. Stress, he took the 4K turn over Braylon Strom. We'll make sure, see if they notice that on this. On
the Kirax?
On this guy.
All right, we should probably just let him know.
Right.
Yeah, I got it.
I have an update.
And we got to take care of this first. It's underneath the dial.
What was that?
It's underneath the dial.
Oh, it's underneath the dial. Okay, we are fine.
Yep.
All good, Dion, bringing that to the judge. It is, it's right there. 15 minutes left in this round. Dial's going down. Dion, if you're Alex, what's your play to claw yourself back here?
Well, I know that the Cartel Marauder has that 3-dice gun. That is your best chance of doing damage. Just trying to get into range 1 of Wedge or Braylon. Honestly, Wedge is the squishier target. With the fact that Braylon has the rerolls and can be a little more squirrely, I think you try to take out. Try to take out Wedge, and you kind of hope from there.
Exactly. I think he did the exact right thing here. He 1-banked to pilot left with that number pink. He's going to 3-bank with Seaver. Just needs to get guns on target. He's going to be relatively certain that neither Braylon nor Wedge is going to be firing back at him this round. Both need to turn around. Braylon is stressed. Wedge without a great possibility. So he's got at least 1 round of relatively unanswered shots.
Yep.
Maybe Wedge does something crazy like a Talon roll to the right.
Also, being able to leverage Seavor's ability to try to make sure that when you do take those shots into Wedge that he doesn't have a focus, that could be big.
Absolutely massive. Here's the 2-bank boost, pilot right, focus and boost for free from Jake Farrell. He remains unstressed, likely to see a 1 hard turn coming in next round. Braylon Strom, 3 straightforward.
So with the other match happening on the other table right now, Ali is ahead 74-26. Looks like Ali has figured out how to crack those 4 Star Vipers. We're going to have an America versus Britain great final here at the X-Wing World Championships.
Well, let's see. Braylon Strom taking the barrel roll here. Took a 3 straightforward, clearing the stress. Is he going to link that to a focus again, or does he want to open up? I think he wants to open up the Talon roll.
Let's get that B-Wing turned around, make that gun matter, because Daniel does know that as long as that cartel is shooting, it can be dangerous.
Right. Wedge Antilles closing S-foils, 2 banking out to the right. He'll take the focus, but will he boost?
What was Braylon's action? Was it just the barrel? It was
just that barrel roll.
All right, just the barrel.
So Wedge is just not going to bother taking the focus. He knows that that Seaver's going to jam it off.
Yep. Somebody in the chat here, X Vices. I honestly don't think that that anybody is surprised by Daniel Taylor's performance here. A lot of people know where he's been at.
It's that
so right
somebody's shotgunning a beer over on the next table.
They're doing some crazy stuff.
So Wedge Antilles just taking the barrel roll. Love that maneuver, because what that does opens him up for a 2 hard turn down this way if he wants to go catch this Cartel Marauder, or a Talon roll.
Seavor checking his range. They might be taking concentrated shots. I think you go at Wedge. Even if you had range to Braylon, right. I think you go at Wedge.
Does he come back on top if he gets half points on both?
2 hits. Wedge is taking one. That's half points.
So now he's leading by 49 points. He still needs a kill to come back in this, and that kill has to be Wedge and half points on Braylon Strom. He's got an uphill battle, but 12 minutes is more than enough time to do it.
That's right.
Guys coming in for the Cartel Marauder, target locking all of those out of range 3.
Spends that pink target lock, and here we go. Hey, hit, crit.
2 of 8. Braylon Strom just taking 1 shield from that attack.
Yep. That in the event that he would have blanked out there, still would have just been shields down. The crit didn't actually have a, didn't have hull to stick to, but still that would have been half points.
Right, that's half points. So now I think we see the Talon roll from Braylon Strom right here. I think we might see a boot or a 2-turn and a boost over from Wedge Antilles. I think that's the attack line that gets him most back into the fight right here.
And for anybody doing the math at home, right now with Daniel leading by 49, if you look at the splits for each of these pilots, you got Wedge. The other half of Wedge is worth 28 points. Braylon worth a total of 52 and 26 for the other half. So those are the primary targets right now. You get rid of Wedge first.
Right.
That's going to get you another 26. It's going to bring you 23 points closer than the other half of Braylon, assuming that you still have those that Kirax and Sivor alive, would bring you into the lead. Alex has to hope that he doesn't take too much damage on Pink. Right now he's 1 hit away, I believe, or sorry, 2 hits away from being half points there on the Marauder.
Just hitting 1,000 viewers on our stream. This is the top 4. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and remember, we're going to go rating on FFG's Twitch chat right after this is over.
That's right. So we're gonna finish this game, and we're going to do giveaways, give away our top prizes, and then the raid.
1 bank to pilot right from number Pink. Focus, he's taking a hide behind that debris cloud, hoping to catch Wedge as he comes in. 2 straight from Captain Seaver, looking to do the same thing. Wedge, if he's actually the Talon roll down to this side with those cojones of steel that we saw from Marcel Manzano.
I don't know if that fits. I think the side of the base would move. Would be just out of the board, but who knows?
1 hard turn from Jake Farrell. We're going to see a focus to boost right there. Jake coming in, he's going to give himself the focus.
It's always interesting to see how a major tournament like this shapes the meta. It's going to be interesting if we start seeing Z95s on the table.
I think we should always have seen Z95s on the table. Like, Z95s are an incredible ship.
Right. I mean, they're just like not sexy, right? Like essentially,
exactly.
They just don't. They don't have like any super cool abilities.
Exactly.
It's just like they're just a solid chassis.
Exactly. We saw a lot of Z95s actually right at the beginning of 2nd edition with the BBBBZ or the 2BXXZ.
Yep.
With Lieutenant Blount as that 5th ship. One more time. There's the 1-bit Talon roll from Braylon Strom. Talon roll from Wedge Antilles. Which direction? No, it's coming around to pilot left. Knows that he's not going to have any tokens from Seaver anyway, so might as well get his arc pointed around.
That's right.
I think his target there being the Cartel Marauder, get that big gun off the board.
Especially you got Braylon and Wedge pointing at him. There's a good chance you could take him off the board completely.
Don't discount that little plinky shot right over there.
You're right.
Definitely obstructed there. That looks like it's out at range 3.
Yep, range 3. Here's Wedge. 3 dice, 3 on 3. The Cartel Marauder does have a focus. Here we go. Got hit crit. Waiting for the defense, and you have to spend it. You have to. It's a must.
He has to spend that, because if he takes a terrible hit crit right there, it could be as if he never spent it at all. Here we go. 2 hits from Braylon. Stress re-roll. 2 hits at a focus. Nothing he can do about that. Takes 2. Cartel Marauder now down to half points, 2 away from death as Jake Farrell tries to come in for the kill shot.
So Daniel has 150 points. I think that was range.
He's
range
out of
3
range
stick?
on Pink, so he's coming in with a shot on Seaver.
All right, Seaver does have a focus. Here we go. Hey, no focus there. 1 crit, gets it.
Right now, because Seaver jammed that focus off of Jake because he's not in his bullseye. Seaver, such an annoying pilot.
It's really, really good. Range 3 at Wedge. The
unobstructed because of angles.
Yep, here we go. Seavor, 2 dice with a focus, hoping to get some damage here. Hit crit. Wedge don't like that, and he's taking a crit. Let's see what it is. Council fire. Before you engage, roll a hit. On a hit, take a damage.
Range 3 obstructed a reg from number pink. This could be a kill. Only 2 hull points left on Wedge Antilles. Here comes 3 dice. 3 hits.
Oh my goodness!
Is Wedge going to natty out of this?
Oh,
No,
Wedge off the board.
Wedge Antilles going down in a blaze of glory. Can we get some Fs in chat for Wedge Antilles?
This is the situation we were talking about. If you can clear these ships off the board, now you have the Marauder. You got that 3 dice gun. Maybe you do. And here's the thing: you can't discount Seavor's gun.
Right.
You guys have been talking about on the stream the fact that 2 dice guns still do damage. Right? They do damage in 2nd edition. If Seavor, who is able to ignore obstacles, right here.
No, not that one.
Oh no, so
Just
it's only asteroids. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, mining guitars aren't all powerful.
Right.
Fortunately.
All right, so got a little excited there. But even still, you can put Seavor in a spot to try to get some shots on Braylon. Braylon only has 1 agility. You start plinking away,
right,
and see what happens.
Now, I wouldn't say that Alex has an easy battle ahead of him. He's down still 40 points. He still has to put the kill in on Braylon Strom because he's not going to get that with half points. He's not going to get back up with half points now that the Cartel Marauder is down to half as well. Braylon Strom, though, only able to go forward. Cartel Marauder with an easy avenue for a K-turn or a 1 hard turn to come in and put the heat onto Braylon. Jake Farrell, though, going to shoot forward, try to put the kill into number pink.
That's right. Right now, Braylon is stressed, so no turnaround for maneuver for him right now. That Marauder is going to be able to get behind him.
But that is a gamble, though, because that K-turn is going to take him behind the rock or over that debris. He might take a crit, definitely double stress if he takes that K-turn maneuver.
You're right, but Alex needs shots. He needs uncontested shots to have a chance. That's right. I think at this point it's right. I think it is the right call.
What is it that Darren would say? He chooses violence.
That's
he should
right.
choose violence. With 5 minutes left in the round, you're absolutely right. He needs that time on target. He's rolling for that debris.
No
cloud.
crit there.
No crit. Sorry about that, Dice.
No worries.
4K turn indeed. There it is, double stressed.
So you take 1 stress for the debris and 1 for the maneuver.
Seaver's taking a 1 hard down towards the bottom of that board. Right choice. He cannot lose Seaver if he wants to come back into this match.
Now remember, if Daniel chooses to fire at Seavor, that would strip focuses, but I don't think Daniel's going to be doing that. Takes the evade. Got to be defensive here.
Braylon Strom doing a 3 straight. He knows he's got to get out of there. I think we'll see a focus barrel roll to pilot right. Braylon Strom taking the focus. Not linked barrel roll. Looking to get that Talon roll on next turn.
I'm expecting some zoomy here.
There it is. There's the 5 straight. In comes Jake Farrell as fast as he can possibly go.
He can get a little bit farther forward with a boost focus, or excuse me, a focus boost.
Right. If only he could target lock focus boost. That would be beautiful.
Oh my God. Too powerful. All powerful A-Wing Lords is what we would have right now. People in the chat saying choose violence, always choose violence. Right now, Daniel choosing what he wants to do with Jake Farrell. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, guys. We have 4 minutes left in this round. I want to remind you guys we're going to be doing our giveaways, and then we're going to raid FFG live, so stick with us until we do that. It's super fun. If you don't know what I mean by a raid, I'm going to be opening up a link will pop up in your chat, and we will all go in there. When you raid, you basically you leave a message, you type something in their chat, and it just explodes their chat. So I talked to the
they're okay with it.
They're
Don't
okay
worry.
with it. That's it, exactly.
So he's taking the boost and focus. Range 2 is that obstructed. I think this is something you might want to call a judge for.
It's definitely, you hear the players, it's definitely range. Oh, wait, we got to check.
If you find yourself saying it's definitely range ... call a judge. They will take care of it for you. But they've called it range 2. Hit, spending the focus for 2 hits. No tokens of the Cartel Marauder.
Oh,
and he goes
that's
down.
Off the board. Captain Seavor in a dream at this point for Alex Farley. And the fact that Captain Seavor is only 30 points.
And there we go.
It is.
Alex
Congratulations. Absolutely great match.
Daniel Taylor there coming away 200 points with the concession to 110. But what a fantastic game from both of these players.